Fantastic.
Cool.
All right, thank you, Noobs. So this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, PS1.
Arguably the best PS1 Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's definitely in the top 50%. All right, are you all good on time? Noobs? All good on time? All right. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for PS1, as I said. There are actually 5 different Chamber of Secrets games made when the movie came out. There was PS1, PS2, Xbox, PC, Game Boy Advanced, and Game Boy Color. I've run 2 of these games, PS1 and PC. I actually ran PC at PAX 2019. I've got a stall here because we've actually got 2 minutes of cutscene just explaining the whole start of the storyline. Just saying that the Ford Anglia comes and picks Harry up, if you've seen the movie. You get to see Dobby as well. A lot of the graphics from this cutscene are like almost ripped. It feels like they're ripped straight from the PS2 version. They're pretty dire. And it's gonna be a thing that happens a lot in this run, is you're gonna see the characters you know and love just looking awful. Just looking awful.
I think it's a great artistic rendition.
Obviously the most famous one being PS1 Hagrid, which we get to see in this run, so get ready for that. Yeah, so there's no way to skip this. There's a couple of these sections in the run where instead of actually giving you gameplay, they just pull out to a storybook and just sort of tell you what's happening. There's a couple of unskippable parts, including this one, when they go through the house points, explaining where the house points are at, who's winning, etc.
Yeah, there's a few more cutscenes like the Slytherin common room.
Slytherin common room as well. But yeah, we're about to actually get into some gameplay. So we start off in the Burrow, Ron and the Weasley's house. And our first task, is to get rid of a ghoul in the attic who is throwing pipes everywhere. All right. Time for some gameplay. We all love that. So the first little optimization I do coming up here is I can actually... So those 2 crates that are down there, you're supposed to go down to Ron and he tells you how to start using spells. But if you don't walk down there and snipe it from a distance, you actually skip a cutscene. Skip that cutscene. So we just skip these cutscenes here. As you can see, these guys look exactly like Rupert Grint and Daniel Radcliffe. So there's the first one. There's the second one.
Oh dear, watch me.
So there is actually auto jump in this game, so there's not actually a button to jump, so you just sort of run towards the edge and you just jump.
Yeah, it can be pretty janky.
It's pretty janky, but there's a bit of tech that comes in a bit later to save a couple frames, basically. Yeah, so you're about to see the ghoul.
Right.
He's a good-looking bloke.
He's just doing his best, man.
Alright, so this is just catching a lot of pipes. There's a couple of sections like this, most notably the slug catching section later on when Ron's wand does not do what he intended. There is a lot of downtime in this run, and you're gonna notice that compared to a lot of the other Harry Potter games. This is basically all RNG, just catching. There we go.
Nice work.
So now we're on to the denoming section. Now this is the denoming section. Once we go through and get the denoming gloves, it's something that a lot of people remember fondly about the console games of Harry Potter. And we do awfully add it in the speedrun to save time. But basically it's a... what is the Olympic sport? Is it hammer throw?
Yeah, hammer throw, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a hammer throw like mini game.
Yeah, the run starts off pretty slow, just going around the burrow. Not too much going on.
Yeah, it's essentially just a big tutorial. Reminding Harry that he can use magic. A bit of a plot hole in the games is they're always using magic outside of school, but I don't know, man.
Don't worry about it, mate.
We don't worry about that. So there's a little bit of tech you can do here. I didn't get it. It's very very precise, where you can hit the barrel and break the barrel, and at the same time you can hit square to open the door, skipping the cutscene. But it's very difficult to do.
She's been a bit shy lately.
It's very inconsistent. I think I've only gotten it twice before. So another mechanic of the game that we actually just breeze past is the puffs gain. It's a way of getting beans, and there's a couple of times in the casual playthrough you have to use the puffs gain, but we don't really do anything with it. The wizard card, another staple of Harry Potter games. They're essentially like the main collectible in the run, no, in the game. Sorry. And yeah, we just walk past it because we don't really care because it's any percent.
Spell to charm and move the jug. Holding the X button levitates. Could you charm?
So yeah, in this game, the same button is used for all spells, but there is a different sparkle above each item that you cast a spell on to show you what spell you're going to be casting on it. Yellow being Wingardium Leviosa.
I don't know why Mr. Wizard just couldn't break these boxes himself.
Yeah.
He's already here.
That's right, Harry.
They just don't like manual labor. They wouldn't last a day on the job site. So now we've got the de-gnoming gloves. So now we're off to do some gnoming. De-gnoming, sorry.
You don't want to be gnomed.
We don't want to be gnomed.
Thanks for helping Dad out, Harry. The sooner we did not.
Alright, see. Here's the de-gnoming section. I keep getting it wrong.
Yeah, we're currently gnomed.
We were apparently gnomed. Now we need to de-gnome. So yeah, there's a hammer throw minigame here where if you hit a different object, you get more points. But we just are really bad at it, so we get big fat zeros all around.
Man's just doing his best.
He's trying, man. I really hope the sound of the gnomes is coming through the speakers because they're very funny. I found a zip file full of 56 wave files of different gnome sounds from I think it was the PC game, because one of my friends said that he wanted the gnome laughing as his follow sound. So when people followed, it'd be like. So even though we're really bad at it, Ron keeps giving us gnomes to throw for some reason, but this is the last one. And then he just insults you to your face.
Don't worry. Are you good?
There he goes. That was awful, Harry.
Not
Why
very
did I
nice.
even give you the task? Alright, so now we've got the first instance of wizard dueling in this game. It's going to be, I think there's 3 or 4 other instances in the game. A lot of this, there's a pattern here. I'm very bad at remembering the pattern. But essentially there are 2 main attacks. There's a charged attack and a quick attack. And the strat for it is to just dodge the small attacks, and then once they go to charge up the attack, you release your full attack. So I'm going to start charging and just sort of step side to side because he doesn't understand that you can change direction. And then I'm going to throw one there.
For a beginner, he's doing really well. Oh my word.
Yeah, there's a good bit of tech you can speed this fight up with, and it's just being good.
Yeah, pretty much. But basically, I think it's 4 charged attacks and 1 quick attack will drain any opponent.
Get ready. Duel.
And then, yeah, this is just another, like a tutorial for showing you how dueling works. And then they show you how, like, advanced dueling, I guess, which is they bring in special spells.
That's real skill from the youngster.
Yeah, there's a few different duels later in the game. I think it's more used like in 100% when you've got the all the cards.
I know in PC the duels are a big part of 100%, but it's super glitched. But yeah, so this is the special Jinx. If your opponent hits one of the sparkling objects, it will release a special Jinx. There's like a fire one and a couple of other ones. So I've released one there, so he'll probably try and go over to grab it, which he will, which kind of makes things easier because he always charges the special Jinx, so it just sort of makes it a bit easier. So that's the fire one, but it's okay. So since his health bar was flashing, it means just a quick attack will finish them off.
Get ready. Duel.
Too slow. I have been noticing a bit more of a pattern just in playing it. Usually they hit quick attacks when they're moving, and then the moment they sort of stand still is when they're gonna charge.
That's terrific.
There we go. So now we're gonna hit him with an Expelliarmus, and for some reason flowers are gonna shoot out the end of his wand.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. We got him.
Wow, look.
Yeah, they're like, even though it was a scrappy fight, you're an absolute natural, Harry. We just couldn't hit you.
Oh, by the way.
This is a little exploratory section. This is, remember, this is all behind the burrow, this whole section. So this is where we just have to sort of not get hit by, what does Molly call them? Mr. Weasley's non-magical junk.
I didn't know bees were his non-magical junk.
So yeah, now we're targeting a washing machine. They've bewitched to throw clothes at you. It is part of the run to sort of try and get hit a couple of times because we use a death abuse later. So the closer you are to oh yeah, no, I'm gonna have to move that.
Yeah, what Jimmy's trying to do here is called a washing machine jump, where you just simply just jump off the washing machine. That's it.
That's it. But yeah, there's a little bit of tech here. When the camera turns, you can turn with the camera and jump off, and then immediately Wingardium Leviosa this rock. It saves a bit of time. But yeah, so there's a death abuse later, so you really want to be going into, it's in defense against the dark arts, so you want to be going into that class with pretty much one HP, because yeah, you end up dying to a pixie. I'm going to try and be a bit more conservative with my health for this, because I know in slug catching, especially last night when I was doing a practice run in front of Softman, I died during slug catching, and I was like, that's it, I'm finishing practice and going to bed. So yeah, I'm going to try and be a bit more conservative with my washing machine hits. Small bees.
Seems like the Weasley family just has an excess of washing machines.
So yeah, another feature of the game is the pressure pads that you have to charm objects or stand on to progress. This is just like earlier with the... I still didn't get it. That's another instance of where you can sort of skip the cutscene there and just go through the door. This bit's just going around, just trying not to get hit. Awesome. They have a lot of lawnmowers.
They've got a lot of lawn.
They do have a lot of lawn. So just levitating this one over. I'm gonna not get hit by those bees. So we're coming up on, like, I guess, the major glitch of the game.
Yes.
And that's the wrong warp. So up here, there's a remember all that if you pick it up whilst looking away from where you're supposed to be going, Ron is supposed to come through a door, but if you look away, he doesn't come through the door. You can exit back out into this area and then re-enter this door here, and it just sends you straight to Hogwarts, which means you get to skip the Flu network and the Fort Anglia through the train tunnel.
Yeah,
So-
pretty much just pushes the memory forward.
So I'm just going to be really safe here and make sure I do this correctly because it loses a lot of time. So I've just done that correctly. So Ron's supposed to come through that door, but if we just sort of walk away,
Yeah, you can see it's like letterbox, like it's trying to be in a cutscene.
and so there's 2 doors there. So if I walk through here, we did it.
Yeah, so there's meant to be like a whole part of the game where you fly the Fort Anglia to school, and it
It's-
just goes straight past that. So it's not a massive, massive skip, but it's still 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it's... Oh yeah, here's Colin Creevy. That's what he looks like. Just awful. Like, I understand, it's PS1, but they just look nothing like it. I think Neville's probably the worst. I think Neville got the short end of the stick in this game.
I know Malfoy looks like...
Yeah, Malfoy
bad.
does look pretty awful as well. But yeah, the wrong warp is like probably the thing that's been giving me the most like anxiety about this run. So to get that out of the way is very good. So yeah, we're now in Hogwarts.
You'll notice there's a lot of like bookcases and weird discolorations of the walls, and that's more where you can go get the witch and wizard cards, but they're not required, so we don't go anywhere near them.
Yeah.
To get to the greenhouse, if we got to remind.
So we're on our way to our first class, which is herbology. Another staple of the earlier games is really a lot of the gameplay was learning a spell and then doing a stage to do with that spell. So the first one we learn is... I'm trying to remember what the first spell what the actual spell is. Because we know Wingardium Leviosa.
Is it not Petrificus Totalis?
No, that's
yeah.
Oh, it's Incendio. That's what
Yeah.
it is. So yeah, there's a bunch of slugs attacking the mandrakes. So again, tying back into the movie where you have the herbology lesson with the mandrakes. There's a lot of slugs eating the mandrakes, and you have to use Incendio on them and then pick up the mandrakes and take them back. So yeah, this is just wandering through the school grounds. The camera can be a bit janky here, so I'm just trying to sort of... It's a bit like Silent Hill. Like, the movement controls are moving with the camera, so I've just got to sort of go around. So a little bit here is if I move away there, I actually skip a cutscene that forces Harry to go through this door. Saves like a little bit of time, but we're coming up on our first race as well. So when you're going into a class, there is a little obstacle course with a little record, and it's just basically get to the next class. There's a little thing here. I got it, nice. So another way to save time here, I was explaining it a bit earlier, is if you jump off the edge here and then hit the ledge grab, you get a quicker animation, because as you can see there, when you first pull yourself up, it's really slow. But if you're already jumping and you hit a ledge, it's like a way quicker animation. There's also like, there's ILs for these races, in which RNG plays a major factor on each platform you get. Oh, we beat the school record time. Professor Sprout looking as devilishly handsome as always.
Bean Sprout looking.
Bit Sprout looking, yeah. Another optimization coming up here. I don't know how to explain this like perfectly, but basically it's like a DDR section, and if you get it perfectly on each, hang on, sorry.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm just going to be safe there. So for every perfect, you get 2 points. And for each okay, you get 1 point. And you want to get 8 points to be able to get 33%, because as you can see, that timer counted up. And if you get 100%, it is really slow.
Okay.
So the optimal one is 33% because you need 33% for the actual minigame to stop, because if you don't hit 33%, it just keeps repeating the pattern until you get to 33%. So I just got 33% there. The one you're most likely going to get is 33, 37, or 41. They're, I mean, they're all optimal. They only like lose like point, like whatever of a second each, but
It all adds up.
yeah, it all adds up. There's like 5 of these sections in the game, so we got a C, which is apparently a passable grade for Hogwarts, which is good.
Or where else should you go?
So yeah, now we're in the herbology section. Time to go grab some mandrakes out of the floor.
Welcome to This is a mandrake. Its cry is very dangerous. I need you to collect at least 3 mandrakes from this greenhouse, of course.
So as with
Mandrakes
speedrunning, as we can see, you have to collect 3, so at least 3, so we're going to get 3. Just a little section here where Hermione's telling you what to do.
What?
Speak
up, Hermione.
I was thinking last night, right, so he's got earmuffs on, but he can hear Hermione through the earmuffs.
Giant slugs.
Yeah.
So doesn't that mean he could probably hear the mandrakes, because their cry is supposed to be so loud?
Nah, man, that's just a specific frequency of the mandrakes.
Okay.
It's specialized.
Because like in the story, like Neville doesn't have his earmuffs on correctly and he faints. So I'm just going to avoid these slugs here.
There's like little mini games with the slugs where they try to get closer to the mandrakes. You've got to keep hitting them with incendio.
So yeah, the brown slugs take 2 hits, and the yellow ones take 4. We only encounter the yellow ones in this next section here. And the ideal strat here is to only use a half cast because it's quicker. Again, a lot of this game is just small optimizations. One here being once you pull him out, you move him slightly towards you, so it like just drops straight into the cutscene. So yeah. So we've gotten rid of all the slugs for the 3 we're going to pick up. So we're going to pick up the mandrakes on the way back. And then you'll get 25 points for Gryffindor. Much to my friends who know the PC game of Harry Potter 2, unfortunately there will be no bean bonus room in this game. I know it's absolutely devastating, but it is what it is.
But you know what the PC games don't have?
What's that?
More denoming.
That's true. The PC games don't have denoming, and that is an integral part of this game. Let's try and leave, please, Harry. Nope. Sorry, just getting my camera confused there.
Well done, Miss. There are still more. 25.
So yeah, we got 25 points because we did the bare minimum. Up here is like a good thing about this game is a lot of the cutscenes just have triggers that are around the object. So if you just walk around the object, you don't trigger the cutscene. There was supposed to be a cutscene there where a letter flew down from the sky and we picked it up and read it, but we just walked around the trigger for that cutscene. So now we're on our way to Quidditch Training, where we actually learn to fly again. With Oliver Wood. Colin Creevy is there taking photos of you because he's weirdly obsessed with you.
As you can see, Jimmy walking around like these zigzaggy corridors, the camera just gets stuck heaps.
Yeah.
It's not programmed the best.
Yeah, so the PS1 games were essentially just an afterthought. Like a lot of the games that came out between the 360 and the Xbox One, they were like, all right, let's make a game for the new gen and then we'll just sort of half-ass a game for the old gen.
Yeah, there's a lot of areas that have doors with they're locked, but they're just inaccessible because there's nothing there behind it.
Yeah.
Welcome in a Quidditch match.
So that's Oliver Wood, if you couldn't recognize him by his weird blocky face. So at this point we can't actually go up and down yet. We haven't gotten our up and down license yet. So we're just going left to right, slaloming through all of these holes.
That's good.
I came to a realization whilst watching the crash run yesterday, and I will tell you guys about it when it comes up. But it was like I had an epiphany over by the side of the stage.
Excellent. For that performance, you've earned your gold wings.
So we got gold wings for just doing the bare minimum.
Right.
So now we're getting our up and down license. So this one is inverted, which personally for this game I don't actually like. I like holding up to go up and holding down to go down. You guys can make your choice, but I know the right one. So I'm going to select the second one. Now I'm going to make sure that I click yes to quit, because I remember I was doing a run and I just my idle way of skipping cutscenes is mashing square and X, which just was like, do you want to quit? And I immediately said no. So it just finished Quidditch Training, and it just it caused me a lot of grief. So here the fastest way to have this duel is for Ron to win. So we're just going to sit here and just cop it for the next sort of 30 seconds to a minute. Oh no, he won! No. No. Oh. So yeah, again, there is patterns to this. It's sort of like after Ron does his first large cast, you just move to the back because there's a bigger delay between those three there, and then it's just move forward because any hit there is gonna take you down. So okay, so this next part, I don't know what the vibe is gonna be with the audience, because this is when Ron in the movie casts Eat Slugs at Malfoy. As you can see, that's Malfoy there, and it backfires onto him and he starts vomiting slugs. It is very goofy. There is some really goofy stock sound effects here, and we're gonna have to chase him, but whilst he's cartoon belching the entire way. So just be prepared for that. So yeah, this is another feature of this game, is the sliding floors. Luckily, if you go off the edge, it's sort of just it allows Harry to jump, and you just stay on. There is there's something that could happen where if you are too quick and go past Ron and go into the next section, it'll crash the game. So I'm just going to try and be quite conservative with this.
Yeah, there was a dev note about this section. With all the slippery floors, they were originally just going to be a normal chase section, but they ran out of budget and couldn't afford the collision to keep them so not slipping.
So yeah, there's a slippery floor section later on in the game where you're in the Slytherin common room, but the floor is not as slippery. Because it doesn't make sense. Why would they make the floor slippery on the way to the common room in such a dire safety hazard?
It's just natural selection.
But yeah, so we're just gonna try and take some optimal routing here. If you've got time for donations or anything, this is probably the best time to do it. Oh no!
What save?
Oh no, I failed it because... Cool, blimey, I wasn't fast enough. That's okay, it just puts you to the start of the section again, so...
Yeah, it's not too big of a loss.
Yeah, not too huge.
Yeah, imagine if it took you all the way back to the start.
It does that in the common room, I think, and it's actually the worst.
We have a couple of donations come through. $100 from Anonymous, $10 from Nay, who says, GL on the run, Jim my boy. And $21 from Magus Plays Games, who says, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets donations. Donation goes towards naming Billith Suds McDo because Suds McDuff doesn't fit 8 characters, and this is close enough. Thank you for the donations.
Awesome. So yeah, this section is like the ghoul section. We've got to collect the slugs that are coming out of Ron. But you can only fit 5 in... is it Fluffy? The dog? You can only fit 5 in his water bowl, so you've just sort of got to like manage Ron vomiting everywhere whilst you're... Come on, one more Ron. There we go. Sweet. So this is PS1 Hagrid. Absolute star of the show here. We love PS1 Hagrid. We get to see him go to the pub soon. Okay, so this bit's interesting. So you're going to hear the same voice lines over and over again. And it's because my theory is that because we skipped the whole Whomping Willow section where you go through the castle, there is like 3 cutscenes stacked on top of each other here, and they just do not interact well. So you're just going to see the same thing for like the next sort of 10 seconds or so. You're going to hear Ron go, oh, and then Hermione's going to be like, Ron, and then it's just... It's really funny, like, watching people, like, see that for the first time, because it's just the same 3 lines, just over and over and over again. And it's like, is there any end to this? Minor optimization coming up here. After this upper castle bit. If you hit the top of the stairs, there's a cutscene trigger for the first time you hear the basilisk. But if you just jump onto the side of the stairs and jump around it, you just skip that part. It's a really good feature of the first 2 Harry Potter games that the cutscene triggers are just so small. Yeah, here's your first real look at Hogwarts Castle. So you can see Hermione waiting for us to go into Defense Against the Dark Arts. I've been very conservative with my HP here, so yeah, we just jump into that trigger and we're all good. And this is just them ripping on Hermione because she thinks that Gilderoy Lockhart's hot. Not a lot to say there. So here's our second race. This one is like very conservative with time. It's like, I think the school record's like 1:24, and you can easily sub 1 minute it, like even casually probably.
Yeah, it's also very concerning how there's just a bunch of like knights
just ready to like just dome any child that walks past. So there's like a bit of like RNG as to what jump you get depending on the height. Obviously the best jump you want to get is where you land directly on top like that, and the worst is when you have to do a ledge grab. In a full run context, it's like is what it is, but yeah, if you're doing ILs, that's sort of like a bit of a reset moment. So yeah, there we got 47 there with 1:24. So it was a pretty easy cup to get that one. Alright, so we're going into our Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson with the infamous freshly caught Cornish pixies. Where they just absolutely cause havoc around the classroom. I think they picked Neville up by his ears and put him on the chandelier. Very strong pixies. So again, this is the DDR section again.
Very stylish. Just like me.
So there we go. I got 3 perfects and 2 okays. There's an interesting voice line here with Gilderoy Lockhart where he says dear dear, but he says it in a really low register, and it's so like way louder than the other fail sounds, and it's just very ominous the way he says it.
There it is.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get it the next one. I know we got it there, but I was too busy talking.
One more to go. Get ready. Perfection! Oh, no. Dear, dear.
There it is. It's just like, dear, dear.
Rough day at the office.
Rough day in the VA room. It's been chain smoking and drinking whiskey in the VA room. Just the end of the day, just dear, dear.
To be fair, when I used to teach guitar, I would feel like that sometimes. So I can sympathise.
So up here, there's like a bit of RNG whether the pixie that you have to cast is in front of you or behind you. It's like, I think it's like 75%. It's like going to be in front of you. But yeah, this is just Hermione gushing over Lockhart. So yeah, okay. There you go. Petrificus Totalis, the spell that Harry uses on Neville as they're leaving I think they're leaving to go to Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. Oh yeah, it's at the end. It's when they're going to go to the chamber, and he stands there. He's like, "I'll fight you."
No,
and then
that's the first movie, isn't it?
What's that?
That's the first movie, isn't it? When they go into
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is the first movie. Yeah.
Is the spell even used past this section of the game?
Yes, I think so. So there's the death abuse. Basically, I just have to throw hands with some pixies, and Harry loses. The reason we do that is instead of going through the rest of the section, if we just continue here, we just pass. He's like, "Congratulations, you got through." But yeah, going back, he stands at the door. He's like, "I'll fight you," and they just cast Petrificus Totalis, and he just can't do anything. It's a very comical moment, a very funny moment. Harry Potter funny moments. So this is a part that was in the book, but not in the movies. This was Nearly Headless Nick's 500th Death Day party. So this is that second unskippable section I was talking about, where they go through the house points, and this is another one of those dear dear moments where the way they say Slytherin is so ominous. It's just like Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and it's like Slytherin.
It's all about the intonation.
Yeah, so joyful. It's like Slytherin. And yeah, we're just blowing the entire competition out of water because we're Gryffindor, we're the main characters.
You don't have to do much with it. You get straight to the top.
Straight to the top. You get Gryffindor, you win. Well, what's your house, Sumi?
It's got a room, a bathroom.
Shut up.
I don't know.
When I did my Pottermore quiz, I was a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, okay. That was way too long ago, so I think it was Ravenclaw.
Yeah, so basically this whole section here is trying to get around cutscenes. That first one was skippable, but I just ran a bit too far forward. That one's like you can't get around it. There's a lot of jumping off random objects to get around cutscenes here. So yeah, Harry has legs of steel and can just jump from the second story into a doorway. So this is Colin Creevy again. He's like, because you're supposed to see Colin earlier in the game, but because we haven't been to this section yet, because we hadn't been to the Whomping Willow, we get to see him now. Now here I'm going to jam myself up against the wall, skipping the cutscene there. Again, there's those nights that Zumi was talking about where they just assault children. So we're just going to jump around Nick here. And this cutscene was supposed to play when you first come into the castle from the Whomping Willow, but because, again, we haven't been here yet, this whole cutscene plays, and Ron's like, we need to get back to our common room. We just survived the Whomping Willow. And you go, yes, Ron, I think I'll go back to the common room with you. And you just turn around and walk through the door.
Yeah, a lot of the movement around the castle is pretty linear. Like, they lock all the doors you really can't go into.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Come on, Rob, no problem.
He's like, follow me. And you're like, yup.
I'm a head out.
I'm going to head out. So this section is like another bit that can be a bit tough. So there I'm just skipping a Peeves cutscene. So here I'm going to probably lean forward.
Getting in gamer pose.
I'm getting in gamer pose because there is a bit of pause buffering that has to happen here. So I'm holding... can you explain what I'm doing? Just while
I honestly don't know what you're doing. Okay. So just holding left and spamming X up to exit the pause menu. Yeah, so I think pretty much what he's doing, there's a bunch of different sections you're meant to go around, and you can grab levers that'll raise platforms in the middle there where you can just normally jump through. This should just skip them all.
Yeah, it's like there's so much time save here that it's just like it's not worth not doing.
Yeah, the section's quite long. Yeah. It's sort of a common thing into the HP games, these sort of skips. In Harry Potter 1, there's one called Fire Seed Skip, which is like insane. Somehow climb up the environment on some trees and just get across the map.
And you just sort of don't know whether you got this until there, where you actually get the ledge grab.
Yeah, so you just literally grab onto nothing.
Hold up, it's not finished yet.
Part 2.
Hold. So here I've got to sort of like line up with the geometry on the wall. And it's so hard to see the point. I think it's there. Yep, okay, there we go. So there's a couple of setups where you've got to like line up basically pixels, and if you miss it, you fall in and you have to do the pause buffering again. So it's like that bit's a lot easier than the pause buffering, but if you fail that easy part, you have to go back to the pause buffering. So yeah, this is the Death Day party where they have things such as the stinking salmon, the moldy bread, because they're all ghosts. They don't drink and eat anything. So Ron's brought a present. He's like, congratulations on dying 500 years ago, Nick.
He's a good bloke.
He's a good bloke.
This is like the first minigame, like first one of these minigames coming up where you just got to shoot whatever gets thrown at you.
Yep. So yeah, this is Peeves. For those of you guys that haven't read the book, Peeves is actually one of my favorite characters in the series. He just causes mischief, and they just can't get rid of him. He's a poltergeist, which in the Harry Potter universe, it's like it isn't a ghost. It's like a spirit that like is, I think they're brought on by mischief. So I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna wait until he moves, because he comes up and then he moves, and then that's when I'm gonna hit him. And if I don't hit him straight away, he throws the food at you, and you've got to like hit it out of the air. So. I really want to know who they based the face on the health bar on, because it looks like the origin of like the 2010 troll face.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like almost the exact same.
So this is like, I'm bad. There we go. Okay. So yeah, there's just a couple of sections in here where he just launches food at you, and the hitboxes are very like lenient, but if you don't get it on time, it's just you just don't get it. So here, see, like I just cast that under the cake, and it's like, yeah, you hit that cake. Oh, nice hitbox. So that's Peeves section done. So this is gonna be our first it'll be our second storybook section. This is where they go. Another bit here is right. Harry hears the voice that's like, kill, and he runs, but like Hermione and that run with him, like, at the same time, like they've all heard it. But yeah, so there's another storybook section just explaining. They didn't rip this from the audiobook, which I think is nice.
Yeah, the narrator's voice in this is actually quite good.
Yeah, the why I say that is I think it's just in Harry Potter 3. Technically, Stephen Fry is the narrator, and it's because they've just ripped all the narration from the audiobook, like the Audible audiobook, which I highly recommend. Stephen Fry does a really, really good job.
Cat's just cat on the wall. What's he doing?
Cat on the wall? But yeah, Stephen Fry does a really good job. So this is when Filch catches you and he goes, "You've murdered my cat. I will never forgive you."
Oh, have you?
Enemies of the air, beware.
Before Harry could leave,
If you got anything to say, Kurt, now's probably the time.
when Filch saw Mrs. Norris, he screeched accusingly at Harry. You've murdered my cat.
Thank you. We are AusSpeedruns, a group doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for Game On Cancer, a charity which funds early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com.
All right, perfect. So
I'm sure that Draco
this is where they hatch the plot to make polyjuice potions. So the next couple of mini games is just us getting the ingredients to make it. There's also a Quidditch minigame, in which I'll tell you my crash revelation. Keeping
And
you
you're
guys
really
on
hyping this up.
Yeah, I'm keeping on the edge of your seat. If any of you guys were here for the run yesterday.
Silence.
So there's the great Alan Rickman as Snape. Oh, there's Neville.
Yeah,
Neville's face is just awful. He features a lot more in the first game, I noticed when I did my casual playthrough. But yeah, some of the characters, man. Alright, so this is just one of those games where it's just like, hey, click the buttons. And I can't click the buttons apparently. My brain doesn't work. I did click the triangle there, but whatever, Snape. I'm a bit low on health, but
You just made a potion to heal yourself.
I did. Oh, actually, yeah, no, I think it actually resets my health here because we've got the potion. If not, I'll make something work.
Hello there.
Yes, it's Hagrid time, baby!
I do?
Um,
Oh, yeah.
Noops loves PS1 Hagrid. So yeah, this is another de-gnoming section.
To fling them when you reach them. Try and
I think it is still gnomes. It's either gnomes or pumpkins. I think it's
It's still gnomes.
yeah. So again, we're just essentially like I skip through the cutscenes and I start the animation and then I don't hold anything. And yeah, Harry again is just awful, just awful at the game. I love how they just like
Just go
walk
straight
up
up.
the pumpkin.
I did notice that. Just programmed just to go straight sideways no matter what.
Just no matter
there
what.
he goes.
There we go.
don't worry about
Yeah, this is usually the point in which, like, during my run, I'll probably check my phone because I've got like one free hand because I'm just clicking the. I'm just clicking like square and X. Oh, I almost did something there.
Don't worry about
Yeah, Hagrid's thing here is just like if you don't get it in, he's like, don't worry, I'll pick it up and throw it in for you.
The soundtrack for this part of the game slaps as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they like all of the games, like bar like the Game Boy ones, they're like all the same soundtrack, but like in different parts. Because I think Lucille, who's a HP2 PC runner, when she came into my stream, she was like, it's so weird hearing like this music in another section.
for saving him.
Alright, so we're about to go into the Quidditch minigame, in which we go up against Slytherin. And then the Snitch minigame in this compared to 1 is so bad. I hate the Snitch minigame in this so much. But yeah, we're doing all of our seeking underneath the Quidditch pitch. Alright, so my Crash revelation, right, is that this first minigame is essentially the last boss fight from Crash. Because you just hold X, hold X, and then as soon as you get close, you just click square.
I think Insomniac have a case here.
I was like, I popped off when I realized. I'm like, oh my god, that's Quidditch from Harry Potter 2. But yeah, so there's 3 phases to Quidditch. The first one being the barging the Draco part, and now we follow the Snitch and we have to hit the circles.
Yeah, a little bit of speed.
But you've got to be cautious of your speed here, because if you go too fast, the Snitch will actually go behind you, and you have to complete another lap of the Quidditch pitch. So I've got to like sort of manage my speed going through here. Luckily, there is a prompt that you'll see before it does that, where the Snitch will wildly go left to right. Oh, nice one, Harry. But basically, yeah, this is like essentially the entire minigame. But the Snitch minigame, I hope it angers other people as much as it angers me. That's all I ask. Because the hitboxes are so bad. Alright, so here it is. So I've got to grab the Snitch, and if you don't get it, it delays. And it's like, it gives you like 0.5 seconds to catch the Snitch as it comes up. Nice! I remember in one of my first runs, I like missed it, which means you have to go back to that circle section.
And do it all again.
And do it all again. But yeah, here's another little storybook section.
I don't know what the choice of just fading to like that weird yellow on all of the cutscenes is.
It's an interesting creative decision, because the next one is in full color.
Yeah.
But this is the infamous scene in Harry Potter 2 where he breaks his arms. He breaks the bone in his arms. So what does Gilderoy Lockhart do? He removes the bones from his arm, because then there's no broken bone.
Yeah, that checks out.
Unfortunately, you don't get to see the great bit where like Hagrid grabs his arm and just turns it. Like,
just folds it back on itself.
Just folds it back. There's no bones left.
Together, they heaved it onto the news that the Chamber of Secrets is indeed open again.
Yeah, we've got a little bit more downtime. Did you have anything you want to read, Kurt?
We haven't got any new donations.
I think you should go to Diagon Alley.
Actually, that might be good, because I think we're about to do Diagon Alley. So, if you've ever played Philosopher's Stone, sorry, I had to remember because I've been playing the US version, you'll notice that everything is pretty much the exact same, and that's because the studio that made the game basically just reskinned everything and then just changed the plot. And Diagon Alley is like one of like the main culprits. They were like, how can we change Diagon Alley? We'll make it snowy.
A little bit of snow.
A little bit of snow. So this is when Hagrid's just like, here you go, Harry. I'm going to the pub. Just like, just all the boys rocking up to PAX being like, all right, the speedrun stage is there. I'm going General Assembly.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then up here is like probably the worst line in the game from Malfoy. He goes, nice earmuffs, Potter. Did your mother make them for you? How awful is that? Okay, so this is a minigame reminiscent of the Peeves minigame. Basically, this man is overrun by pixies. So we've got to knock him out of the air and get him out of his shop.
Yeah, look how like that was such a lenient hitbox on that up.
Yeah. And some of them had Christmas hats on, which is very cute. Oh, God. Oh, to be a carefree, freshly caught Cornish pixie. So the end of this level is really like, it's very funny the way that it goes. He's just like, oh, thank you for getting rid of those pixies. Is there anything you can do? Like, anything I can do for you? He's like, yeah, can I have some leeches? It's like, yeah, no problem. I guess in the wizarding world, it's not
A hot
weird.
commodity.
It's not weird to be putting in an order for leeches.
Thank you, so. Have you got any?
There you are.
So, yeah. Again, this is another shop that I'm pretty sure is in 1 as well, but now it's got a Christmas tree, so it's different to the original game. I feel like the next joke here is like a bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of like joke about the reuse, because he goes, oh, it doesn't look very Christmassy. And he's like, how about this? Yeah, here it is.
It doesn't look.
Is this bad? How can I help?
He's like, no, it's Christmas, bro.
Hiding him. You need to collect.
So this one is,
Yeah, so there's one of these boxes will shake and you just got to go find the right one.
and then we've got to, so as soon as I hit one lacewing fly, they go upstairs. They use the ramp, so they're very considerate for flies, and now we've just sort of got to hit them out, and it's just, yeah, 5 of this. Sometimes they spawn upstairs, and that, it gets me a couple of times. I think I've like lost time, because I'm like, I can hear them shaking. Where are they? And then they're just upstairs for some reason.
Yeah, since they take the path up the stairs, if they hit that first box, it's always a bit quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just all RNG. So, in all that time, Hagrid's had enough time to have a pint of butterbeer, and he's ready to go home. So yeah, we've got essentially all the ingredients for the Polyjuice potion. We just need Crab and Goyle's hair, I believe. Oh, and Millicent Bulstrode's hair.
Did you manage? Yes.
And it's not a cat.
Here's the flat.
Shit, Millicent Bulstrode is not a cat.
No.
Of course it. Oh, come on, Ron.
This is the first time we're doing dueling outside of the original minigame. But yeah, this is just exploring the castle again. They really hammer it home how large the castle is. But yeah, a lot of this game is like just routing, getting corners nicely, and there's not really a whole lot of like glitches per se, like except for the wrong warp really. So it's quite a cozy run. If you like a run that's sort of like around the hour and a half to 2 hour mark, and you've got a PS2 or a PS1, this is a very good game to learn.
Nice and straightforward run.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Zoomy up here because he learned to run a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, and then I just completely forgot it all.
Yeah, so that's Professor Lockhart's office. We'll be going there a couple of times in this run. Yeah, other than that, it's just the beautiful architecture of Hogwarts. Just the maze corridors. And now we're coming up on the first duel, which is Malfoy. And coming up, you also get to see Gilderoy Lockhart's really goofy running animation, where he outstretches his arms forward like this and just runs full speed at all times.
It's like a Scooby-Doo monster.
Yeah, like a Scooby-Doo monster. But yeah, again, it's just trying to get the patterns down. Like, Gilderoy Lockhart's like, come on, Harry. Like, you didn't just absolutely almost perfect Draco and Malfoy.
And it's easy not to get hit twice since the iframes last for so long.
Yeah. Oh my god, he just dodged that like a rocket.
You'll notice the candles dropping from the sky. Pretty much you got to try to get Malfoy to hit him to get pickups if you want, like the power-ups if you want them, but it's useless in the run.
There we go. What? Sorry?
Weren't flashing.
Alright. So any of you who have seen the movie, you know that Malfoy casts a spell here, which is Serpent Sortier. And it's a regular looking snake. Look at the size of this snake. And there's the goofy running animation.
That doesn't even explain it, he just runs away.
So here it's just trying to hit the snake and then not get hit by the venom.
Yeah, the venom's pretty, honestly, somewhat difficult to dodge sometimes.
My favorite thing about this part is the really goofy face that they put for the snake. Like, he just looks happy to be there. So it kind of makes me feel bad to be, like, taking him down. So the strat here is to pretty much run in one direction, and then the moment he spits, change direction. It's like sort of like the same as the casts in the duel, but it's just like it's a lot quicker. And that should be the snake. Yep. So another storybook section here. So if you want to say anything, Kurt, go nuts, my friend.
Thank you. There are no new donations, but we do have a number of donation incentives. Our next one coming up is the new Pokemon Snap character name with one option, which is Pants at 1300. If you would like to try and beat that one, please feel free. We have a close race between the name for Byleth in Fire Emblem Three Houses. The options there are Marth, Suds McDoo, and Snart.
Very good, very good. I was saying earlier that I wanted to... I was going to put in language for my donation incentive for this game, but I'm not sure the timing differences between the languages. Because I was saying, I don't know if anyone's ever seen like the cover of the Harry Potter game. The Japanese cover is the exact same, but the yellow is red and all the text is in Japanese. I think it looks really cool. But in that opening 2-minute cutscene, you already lose 15 seconds because of like the way that the voice acting is. Yeah. But yeah, in the copy that I have, there's 3 different language options. I think it's German, French, and English.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a super long cutscene where you get to see Forks for the first time. Guess what? They come in. They come in help. Come in handy. That's the one. They come in handy later.
Forks the Phoenix is really very happy.
Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen Chamber of Secrets or read it.
Dumbledore explained how phoenixes were fascinating creatures.
They can carry immensely heavy loads, and they make highly faithful pets.
Dumbledore went on to say that he didn't believe...
Yeah, it's unfortunate we can't skip these, but
When he asked if Harry had anything that he wanted to tell,
it's like completely the opposite to Harry Potter for PC. Because PC, like the entire game, you just hold the cutscene skip button and it just constantly just
Goes
skips.
straight through them, yeah.
Okay. Next up.
Now that everyone, you don't
So this is going to be the second slippery part of the run. This is when we meet when Harry and Ron, Crabbe and Goyle.
Ready? As I'll ever be.
And the voice acting for Crabbe and Goyle, like the other, like Harry Potter PC, is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's just they've taken like the regular voice actors and just said, play a dumb character, and they're just like, oh,
Yeah, slow down as much as you can.
where is the common room? Hurry.
I don't know why like the loading screen for that's the pixie chase from later.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's like, there's a Slytherin now. Oh, wrong.
And you know what denotes the Slytherin common room? All the green on the wall.
All the
That's the only
green on
way
the
you
wall.
can know where you're going.
And the absolutely, like, unhinged route to the common room.
Yeah, it's like a classic 2-meter drop.
Just a classic 2-meter drop on your way to go to bed. So yeah, this floor is about, in best technical terms I can say, is like half as slippery as the slug catching section. It's not like the full slippery, but like it's definitely not like the easiest thing to control.
Yeah, do you reckon the devs like set it the same as the other one originally, and they're like, all right,
They're like,
this
oh,
is not the best.
it's probably not. No, there's 2 instances here where you can get bonked on the head by knights, and it can lose you a bit of time. There was also a PB run that I was doing at one point where I was like 3 minutes ahead by this point, and I fell off the side. So with this one, instead of jumping on, you just sort of magically just like warp back up. But if you're going up a slope, you just fall off the slope, and that's what happened to me, and it was very aggravating. This game has aggravated me a lot over the past couple of months, but like in a good way, unlike something like Vice City did.
Yeah, with like the slipperiness, you sort of got to like make your inputs before you get there to turn, so you're like making that movement by the time you're there.
Yeah, using analog, like, makes this way easier, because yeah, using the D-pad is just, it's so hard to do. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much the second part of it. Oh no, I think I'm not sure. Don't listen to me, actually. So that's where I fell off and like ruined my PB pace run.
Man, Jimmy fell off.
Jimmy fell off, actually. But yeah, this is the second night that I'm gonna wait out his bonk, because if he bonks you, you can fall off the edge there, and you go to the start of the section, and because it's right at the end, it like loses like at least 30 to 40 seconds. But yeah, this is where you get to see Malfoy in all of his glory.
The blue lighting just looks... I can't describe it.
It's so dopey.
Looks like a balloon.
This close-up on Malfoy is the best part, I think. And I hope it's Granger. It's like, oh god, get away from me.
Like, man, you need some help.
So unfortunately in this game you don't get to see when Hermione is turned into a cat, like, person. So this is just like the Peeves mini game where it's just a bunch of stuff. It's because she doesn't realize it's Harry. So she's like, oh, a random Slytherin has come into my bathroom. I'm going to attack him. I'm going to hurt, injure, or maim him.
I feel like a lot of the characters in this game are just unhinged and shouldn't be there.
Like, because I was about to say, like, the Peeves section is fine because it's mostly food, but he throws, like, jelly on a porcelain plate at you.
I'm sure it won't hurt too much. So yeah, there's no way you can speed this up. It's literally just on a timer.
Yeah, just auto-scroller. Well, less auto-scroller because you actually have to do stuff, but... Oh, damn. Oh. Okay. So then she's like, oh, it's you, Harry. Here's a book.
Amen.
Yeah, they don't actually like explain that it's like the book that Ginny threw at her. She's just like, here's a book.
Go read.
Go read. Another avoiding a cutscene here. If I just go around this page, I don't pick it up. I thought they did I thought they did just reuse the entire layout for Harry Potter 2 as Harry Potter 1, but actually they surprisingly changed up a couple of doors. So like Professor Lockhart's office is like the Gryffindor common room or something like that in 1. Yeah, so as we're walking along we can sort of, spoiler alert, hear the basilisk in the pipes.
It only shows up in that upper area as well, doesn't it? Yeah.
So we're about to go learn a spell that I don't believe is in the books. The games take a lot of creative liberties with the spells that they bring in. So this one's called Vertamilian, I think, or Vertamilius. And essentially there's hidden platforms, and this shows the hidden platforms. And it also lags the hell out of the console because there's so many particle effects.
Yeah, when you cast it and it hits, it just is a massive white flash.
I love it. He's like, look at my expensive wand. Again, we're just going to try and get all perfects for the first 4, which we did, which is good. Another dear moment. I'm so excited for the part after this. Do you know what's after this?
Huh?
It's the crash race.
Oh, yeah. Man, they really did take everything from the Crash games with this.
They really do. So there's a mini game after this where it's essentially like one of those Crash like rolling boulder levels where it's just like there is an enemy behind you and you have to run towards the camera. It's very stylish, just like Lockhart. Alright, so time to cast some spells. Again, very passable grade. Would you call that C or C+?
I think it's just a C, mate.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm trying to. Okay, so it's gonna lag the hell out of my console because of all of the particle effects and light that gets. So small minor optimization, you can just jump to this platform. And basically there is a timer there that once it stops, it oh my god, that was so choppy. Once that timer runs out, they become invisible again. And so that was Vertamilian. So it's about to be Valentine's Day. Keep that in mind. Now I believe this is going to be a house points section. Yep. So Kurt, take it away, my friend.
Thank you. We have had a $50 donation from the audience here at PAX Australia, which was to go towards the Blue Lions incentive for Fire Emblem. Thank you for your donation, and a reminder to the audience, if you would like to donate in person, head over to the whiteboard. Thank you.
So again, I believe Gryffindor is just eking ahead on points here. Woohoo. They've got that mad main character energy.
Also, you guys can't really see, but Jimmy's got a red controller, which just goes faster.
It just goes faster.
Yeah,
He's got that red see-through controller. Okay, so this is the crash section. This is really goofy. Basically, he's got a bunch of like these cupids that look like old short men, and they chase you, trying to infect you with love, I think.
Shooting actual arrows at you.
Yeah, like, he's put you in grave danger here. But yeah, this is essentially an auto-scroller, but there's like a couple of points in which you can fall down. Like if you get hit in the mid-air, like a specific point in the air, you can just fall down. And I believe it actually takes you to the start, not the section start as well.
Yeah, it takes you all the way back.
But yeah, again, just Hogwarts at the absolute pinnacle of OH&S here. Or WHS, sorry. But yeah, see like that, you can just get hit in the air randomly. So this is the third and last section of this Cupid section, where they're now wiggly planks.
Whose man's let these cupids in here, though?
I want to know where he sourced these cupids from. Because I skip a lot of the voice lines, but he's like, my card-carrying cupids like, are you Harry Potter? And it's like, oh, please get away from me. All right, so that's the Cupid section done. For a second, I didn't realize it was a storybook portion, so I saw him stop, and I'm like,
No.
oh no.
Yeah.
Harry flicked through the blank pages of the diary.
So yeah, this is the section where you get to see young Hagrid and Aragog, and you get to meet Tom Riddle for the first time, not realizing his name is an anagram.
Then at last, something
Can't tell me that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not to that yet.
Spoiler alert. Fun fact, for each translation of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, they had to change Lord Voldemort's name so that Tom, like his young name, would translate to their language of Voldemort. So I am Lord Voldemort from Tom Marvolo Riddle, like in French would be whatever Lord Voldemort was, would be, yeah. Interesting little fun fact there. Yeah, thanks Upjohn. He likes fun facts.
Harry saw that he was standing in a corridor in
So yeah, that's young Hagrid.
Peering through a crack made by an open door was a boy of about 16.
Yeah, I think the PC version's way better at this because you can like, the PC it's like an interactive cutscene, so you can get behind Hagrid and like put your camera so it's just like right here on Hagrid's face.
The voice definitely
Yeah, like, it looks like they didn't really put much effort into the models on this little cutscene.
Yeah, no. Dude's looking like Buzz Lightyear at the back there, just giant chin.
I mean, it looks like Hagrid's got just a massive beard.
Yeah,
massive
I mean, he
grey
probably
beard.
does. He's probably 14.
Yeah,
He's half giant, bro.
that's true.
The young Hagrid rose up to his full height.
We don't talk about the logistics of that, but he's half giant.
He wouldn't, he never. And then from out of the box came something that made Harry let out a long, piercing scream unheard by anyone.
It's a big spider. Any arachnophobes?
Somewhat. No.
Little bit.
Tearing up the corridor and out of sight. No! The scene whirled. The darkness became complete, and Harry landed with a crash. Later, Harry met up with Ron and Hermione.
What's up?
Hey guys.
And Harry's just blacked out and comes to with Hermione and Ron just standing up.
Just standing up like this. He's like, hey fellas.
I'm walking here.
Hey, I'm casting here.
Riddle might have got the wrong person. Maybe some other monster.
Alright, so this is the teacher section. I'm going to play this like rather safe. There's a strat in this that I still haven't actually mastered where you can it's really hard to explain, but basically Filch in one of the later sections, if you don't face him a certain way, he doesn't activate, so you can just sort of get around him. But yeah. Basically this and the troll sections, which is actually Zumi's childhood favorite section, by the way.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm going to play them like super safe just because they can lose a lot of time. I have accounted for all of this like in my estimate. Like, all my practice runs have been like way under, so.
Yeah. The detection of the teachers here is just,
It's very janky.
yeah, it's not programmed the best.
So here we're just going to cast through the hedge there. But yeah, there's a lot of like routing and like waiting on cycles here. Yeah, so like they're like, use the invisibility cloak, but if you just don't use it and run behind Snape, he just doesn't care. So it's like, take note of how close I was running to Snape just then. And then watch when I jump onto this trunk after activating the door. But yeah, so this is essentially just a bunch of the same sort of mini game. It just sort of the difficulty spikes a little bit. But if you know the routing, it's fairly simple. That happened again. That happened in my happened in practice not that long ago, where just for some reason Harry just didn't grab the ledge. But it's all good. So yeah, I ran right behind Snape just then without the cloak. And then he's like, hey, I think I just heard a student land on top of a piece of wood. This is the McGonagall section.
Yeah, they sort of get a little bit longer or a bit more complex.
Yep.
Even though it's not too complex, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this, like the cycles are just in a way that you can just sort of run past and it doesn't really matter. And then it's just waiting for a lot of like visual cues. So like just here, I'm gonna sit in here and wait till she passes the hedge. And this is like, when I first did it, I was like, this doesn't feel like you should be able to do. I just like, just walk past. Through the light as well.
Yeah, it's mostly all line of sight stuff.
Yeah, they just have a really like short cone of sight, I guess. So this one's actually probably like the most crazy one, like the line of sight. I can just like walk past him there. So yeah, this is the part where like if you walk backwards without moving a camera, it like filch doesn't activate, so it means you can just sort of run around him when he does activate. But I just activate that pressure pad and just jump out of the way whilst they have their little cycle. So I'll just stand here and wait for Snape and Filch to come in. And there's a certain point in which Filch goes to the left and then does like a 360 spin, and then I know I'm like safe to jump down. So just waiting for that. I'm gonna, as I run past, I'm gonna grab that invisibility cloak. So yeah, there, that's it there. So I'm just gonna run past, grab the invisibility cloak, and then that's teachers basically, I think. Oh no, there's one more. So there's another one where you actually have to have the invisibility cloak here. Now I'm going to have to listen to an audio cue here because there's a timer ticking down, and with the cycles, once I hear a certain amount of ticks, I know I'm safe to just run past Snape. So I'm just going to be quiet here real quick. Okay, so it's 18 ticks of that clock, which means Snape is in a good spot where I can just quickly run out and run past him. And now this is where they send Hagrid to Azkaban because they think that he opened the chamber again.
Look at it. So, you know? No, come along.
If anyone wanted to find out,
And then he's like,
stuff.
follow the spiders.
Look at all the spiders.
If there's any students hanging around, or anybody that wants to find just outside my my hut here, if they want to find out where to go, just follow the spiders, okay?
It's said to
And luckily
follow
enough,
the
they're just
spiders.
outside his hut.
Luckily enough, like it makes sense in like the book and that context because like Hagrid knows he's got the invisibility cloak on and that he's behind him, so you like if anyone wants to find, but it's like we're just there at the time he says it.
Yeah.
So that's our Zoomies favorite audio cue. There is the sound of the troll giggling.
There's some weird snails in this area, which I don't know, like, there's no, like, law reason, there's absolutely nothing.
They're just, like, in all the games.
Yeah.
You know, Zoomy was the person that originally told me to play and then subsequently learn this run. And when I was doing this part casually, he said that the trolls laughing in this section scared him to death as a kid.
Yeah. There's, like, another section after this, which is even worse. I'm terrified to this day.
Look at he's oh my god.
You're getting going.
Let's try this again. Hey, get away.
He's just
Hey,
walking.
get away. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. Oh my god. Don't clap for that up, John.
Let's go up, John.
Alright.
There's an even larger spider coming up, so I better hear a bigger clap.
I'm very, very scared about that.
Yeah, like whose man's released these snails into the forest?
There's a lot of different things. A lot of different things in this. So there you can see a bit of the lag there where just Harry just stops because you can't move. So there's a minor optimization here where I can just skip those 2 jumps and just do it in 2 jumps. Now here's the big one, guys. Watch out. There's an even bigger one after this.
Yeah, it just keeps going up.
They just keep going up. God, I'm so good at killing spiders.
I love the little breakdance they do as they die.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. They just spin it like
Then with the old Booker T.
the Booker T.
The spinneroonie.
Any wrestling fans in the audience? I mean, old wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So this bit's a bit goofy the way that like he jumps here. It's like I just jump and just land somehow. Yeah, there's just like a lot of just like I guess poor like code in this game where just Harry can just do things that I can't not see it. I can't not see it as like a little break dance now. So this tree has been giving me a lot of grief in runs, and it's probably going to do it again. Where just like for some reason it drops inputs or like I don't know, man. It's just does a lot of bad stuff to me. Thank God it was actually fairly decent today. So there's the troll section.
Yeah, this is the most terrifying thing in this game.
So I'm going to be real. So basically these guys have a line, like a direct line of sight. So if you walk in front of them, or if they turn to see you, it resets your position. So I'm going to be really safe here because this one has been really annoying as of late. I'm just going to wait until this guy turns around. There we go. That should be fine. Yeah, this guy just sees you through the tree line. That's so odd. But I think
back to the start.
I can get round to here just in time for him to... Yeah, there we go. There's like a lot of just precise movement to get cycles correct. And that one I've been struggling a lot with recently. But coming up here, I'm probably going to be very, very cautious. I'm just going to do the long way most likely. And then, yeah, just go through here.
Yeah, it's such a large area. You will go straight through it.
And this point took me so long in my casual playthrough because I just wasn't used to the cycles. But so here we're going into the Aragog boss fight here.
An even bigger spider.
The biggest spider. So essentially what the strat here is Aragog throws out smaller spiders, and we want to keep one spider. It's essentially like if any of you guys have played like COD Zombies, when you keep like the one crawling zombie so that you can like go and do stuff at the end of the round. That's essentially what we're going to be doing here, where we're going to keep one spider around whilst we hit the trees. Because if we get rid of all the trees and then that last spider, Aragog just breaks the last tree for some reason, and the boss fight's just over. So he's like, all right, I'm leaving. He's like, nah.
Need a bit of a munch.
So we just want to hit these eggs. That's actually that should be fine. Actually, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, now we've just got to sort of avoid this spider. There's a lot of health around, so it's like it's not like we're gonna be in a bit of jeopardy or anything. So you could probably do a donation or anything, Kurt. I'm just running around with some spiders.
We have had a few donations come through. There's $5 from Ghost Synth, who says, name by the snart. $25 from X-Man 0444, who says, name by the snart, it needs to be done. $20 from Naomi, who also says, name by the snart. And we have $50 from Fruity, who says, let's mix things up. This dono goes to by this name being farts in the Three Houses run. Thank you for those donations.
Since you've always got that spider just chasing you, it's easier just to circle around and slowly ping them all off.
Oh no, hang on, that might be not great. Ah no. This is okay. It just means I just gotta kill these spiders. And these eggs. Don't mind me. This is just unfortunate timing, basically. Like, other than what's happened here, like, this was like a really good boss fight.
You can see a bit more breakdancing.
So yeah, so Aragog will like charge us here, and he'll hit the tree, and then the tree will just break.
Just walks back into fall down.
Yeah, and so yeah, he was hoarding jelly beans this whole time. So yeah, now we can just jump down, and that's the Aragog boss fight done. Thank you. So we're coming up on towards like the end-ish part of the game. That's like sort of, I think we've pretty much just got like the full chamber section to go, and that's about it. But yeah, this is the next sort of part where, I don't know if any of you guys had, I think Zumi had it as a kid, but there was like an interactive DVD that came with Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
And there was like a trivia game, and there was like a section in here where like basically it was like a full motion video game where you'd get to a fork in the road and it was like, which way do you want to go? And if you went the wrong way, it was like basically a jump scare. It was just like you just died to spiders.
There's one in the chamber as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was
Going
like
through
there's
the
a tour of the chamber, yeah. I remember like doing that tour of the chamber as a kid on like the interactive DVD. I was like, man, I want to be in that chamber. Like, I want to
be in this Ford Anglia, getting jump scared.
Yeah, I want to be in the Ford Anglia, getting jump scared by spiders. So yeah, this is when they get told that Ginny has disappeared into the chamber and that Hermione has been petrified. So yeah, this is when they're like, oh, maybe the entrance to the chamber is in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom because they said that a mudblood died. So yeah, we're now on to the part where we've got to go get Gilderoy Lockhart because we still think he's very brave. We think he might be an awful teacher, but he seems to be a very accomplished.
He's trying his best.
He's trying his best. He's a good defense against the dark arts teacher. Well, not teacher, but he's accomplished wizard. Surely he can help.
Got a very large door.
Very large doors. See, even that kind of doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just didn't want to put in the time to make a proper loading screen.
So we're going to go to the left here to skip a cutscene, but basically, this is the alternate route to his classroom. So we're going to take a bit of damage there to restart the cycle, and then we're just going to sort of make our way through this little maze. And then there's a secondary part to this little maze coming up as well.
Well, to be fair, if you're off the clock and you can set up something like this, so maybe you can get to you.
Keep the students away.
Yeah, it's just all predefined patterns. There's nothing too special about it.
Yeah, and you can sort of like see where the pattern's going to be by the beans on the floor as well. Another couple of knights. There's one that actually moves to attack you here.
You know someone would have had to like cast a spell on that, which is Lockhart.
Yeah, Gilderoy's like, I don't want any students bothering me. I'm going to set up this knight
kill them.
to just kill the students that come to... Yeah, this is all exposition being like, where did you die? And then she's like, the way she says by the sinks is really goofy. Here's
By the sinks.
It's like, by the sinks. And then here's that run again where he's like, his arms outstretched. Now, I don't remember that.
You sure?
I don't remember the actual the faucets turning into snakes.
You sure?
Not in the movie, at least.
They are.
No, they're not. They've just got the snakes on them.
I'm sorry, I'm gaslighting you.
Stop gaslighting me, Zumi G. That's what the G stands for.
Yeah, that's right. He's about to head out.
But yeah, basically, now it's time for another game to be ripped off. We're now in Super Mario 64. We're in the slide section. You would have seen this part earlier if we didn't do the wrong warp, because this is how the Flu network works.
Yeah, just imagine this slide song is playing right now.
Yeah, I always do. Just the ba 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 ba. But yeah, I'm gonna try and be quite safe going down here. But yeah, you can hear Ron sort of coming in past through as well.
Isn't there one of these earlier in the game that's just we skip as well?
Yeah, I just said the Flu network.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but because we do the wrong warp, it skips it. Because yeah, I think the two things you skip with the wrong warp are the Anglia. I keep going to say Anglica. The Anglia going through the train tunnel and the Flu powder from the burrow. Oh no! It's unfortunate.
Sorry, I blame up.
Don't clap up, John. I can see you getting ready.
I blame up, John.
I blame up John too, actually. That's true, actually. And also, yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That last section, it's super weird. There's like a little like S-bend type thing, and then it's a huge like turn. It's super like, I don't know. This game isn't. If you haven't guessed by now, this game is very poorly designed. How did it do that? Like,
It's slippery, mate.
I'm gonna have to take a death abuse at Lockhart as well, I think, to get my health up.
I'm pretty sure if you hold the X to slide as well, it does make it slipperier if you've got the momentum.
For the most part, like down here, I'm not really using X unless I'm in a tunnel. But like, there's just things where like, because like my controller, like the thumb pads are a bit worn down. I'm like readjusting, and if you're going in one direction, it just keeps going in that direction. But basically, I'm just going to be really careful going down here.
If you go off those ledges at like any angle, it will just force you to keep going.
Like that is so stressful. Like that, like. All right, that's we're home safe. don't clap that. All right, so now we finally find out. Oh, Gilderoy Lockhart is literally a psychopath. Okay.
You didn't get that from when he hired some pixies to shoot arrows at you?
I mean, yeah, you probably should have. It's like you got a bunch of old, short pixies to shoot arrows at you and chase you all day. Like, but yeah, so because I lost a bit of health, failing that a couple of times, I'm just going to give him a quick one, and I'm just going to take a quick death abuse here by getting hit by the Obliviate spell. It's going to reset my HP. Honestly, like it's a quick way to regain a lot of health. So yeah, here it's just like do not get hit by the Obliviate spells. But the good thing about this is he sends out 2, and it lags so bad. Because they're just the PS1 like hardware is just not designed to have 2 sets of these. There you go. It's like it's so choppy because it's not equipped to have like that many particles on screen. I mean, even one Obliviate, it's still pretty slow.
Yeah. I did notice the one thing they did actually think about with this game is when you like normally die, it'll show you a little cutscene in the nurse's office, but since you obviously can't get there from here, you're just dead in the chamber.
Now he got himself with it, and he goes to St. Mungo's, which isn't mentioned in the movie. Alright, so now we're on to the chamber section, and then we're on to the most boring boss fight of the entire game. But we're going to go backwards through here, and now we are in the chamber. If I am looking a bit like down on health, I can get a potion just before the chamber. But I think this is a fine HP to go through with. Should be. There's some rats here that you can like sort of hide from, and they'll like run back. That was actually really good. Usually I get hit by one of those, so we're just gonna skip a cutscene here. And so there's 3 different like levels here to raise the platforms to get into the chamber. Again, I'm going to use that little like ledge grab, or I'm not. So there you're supposed to use the little like ledge grab tech. So it's pretty much inevitable to be hit by that, right? I'm going to try and not get hit by these slugs and then cast Vertamilians. Again, this one is sort of RNG as to whether you get hit or not. I got hit, so L, I guess. The more I'm thinking, the more I might just go get this potion. I don't know how we are on time, but
May as well.
I'd rather be safe than like die over and over again because I don't have any HP. Okay, you have to collect the potion, then you have to drink the potion. Alright, cool. So now we'll be at full HP going into this next section. This section gives me a lot of grief in runs. It's probably like the run that the part that tilts me the most. Basically, like if you can basically like stun lock this knight into not hitting you. Now he's got no head, and now he's dead. Gotta hit that one. So this is the part that gives me like the most in runs. Oh, I got it. Thank God. So basically, like, if you start casting before, like, the light comes up, you just cast an Expelliarmus, which is not ideal because you want to be casting Vertamilian. So there's, like, a small amount of window where that red sparkle comes up above it that you can cast it, and you want to do it in one cycle. So there's just a bunch of knights here. I'm hoping that I only have to kill one. No, I'm going to have to kill two. That's okay. Nice one, Harry. Alright. So we got one more platform to raise, which is over here.
This is one of the old trolls again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just want to not get hit there, but I'm like, the thing is, like, all the stuff before the chamber is the stuff that can, like, ruin your health. The actual basilisk itself, I got the cutscene. There is a cutscene skip there, but I'm not really good at it, surprisingly. But this is just a pretty quick cutscene. I might quickly just get caught just because it resets the cycle. But yeah, it's like all the stuff before the actual like chamber that does your health in. Like the actual chamber, you don't get hit at all. So that's the quick troll section there. And then this is the last platform coming up here. That part took me forever in the casual playthrough to realize that you just got to quickly jump up on the I was like, where's the thing to put on the pressure plate so that I can get up on the platform? So yeah, now we're entering the chamber. You get to see Tom Riddle and the Basilisk, and it's probably like the most. I don't know what it is about Harry Potter 2 and boss fights. That the fact that both the boss fights are very underwhelming.
Yeah, and very whelming.
No, they're not even. They're not even whelming.
They're just underwhelming. Yeah.
They're underwhelming.
She's alive, but only just.
But yeah, this is.
Ginny's been writing in the diary.
It's a really good game, though.
Why does he have blue hair?
I got asked this question. I don't know.
Ninja.
Like I don't know whether they're trying to like emulate like the shine. Yeah, so we got the Basilisk now.
It's like the only model they've really put effort into in this game, by the way.
It's the basilisk. Like Forks is not like flapping its wings at all. It just like flies in like a little jump jet. Alright, so now we can't actually hit it here, so I'm just gonna move here, and if you move here, you literally can't get hit by the venom over there. So there's two parts to this. There'll be one where they spit it, where it spits out the venom, and then one where you can actually hit it. So this is the first part of the boss fight. First phase. Yeah, it's pretty simple. The difficulty and the anticlimactic part of it comes in the second phase. Alright, so this is the second phase. So I don't know if you guys remember reading or watching Harry Potter and hearing that the basilisk has a laser beam that comes out of its mouth, but that's what happens in this game. So you want to redirect the laser beam, which is they say it's like venom, and you want to redirect it into the teeth, but it's really hard to control. So it's like if you're not good at it, it can just lose you so much time. But if you do really well with it, you can save a bunch of time as well. Like I went from a run that I think was like 45 seconds behind to PBing by 3 seconds just because I had a good snake fight. And this is all it is just waiting for the beam to charge. But yeah, you can do a little dance at the bottom there, and that's about all you can do.
I'm quite whelmed with this.
Are you whelmed?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad someone is. If anyone was overwhelmed, I'd be quite concerned. There's just too much going on, man. And you try to preempt it, and it just
has a mind of its own.
It does. It's super hard to just get like the way that it works. It's sort of like the slippery floors, I guess, in a way. Where you've got to guess your next move ahead of time. But we're getting there. We're chipping down the health. And there is a part where, like, I think it's like when you get like 1/10 of the health at one of the fangs. Because I don't know whether you guys have noticed, but I'm aiming for the fangs. And if you get down to like, I think it's like 1/10 of the health or something, the other fang falls out. So it's like even smaller of a hitbox to hit with the laser beam.
I love how the fangs are just blinking red like they're a really tall building.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for them airplanes coming through the chamber. Alright, so time's coming up. The time comes up. Yeah, right. Oh, maybe next. Oh, it's gonna be next phase. Alright, so it's basically the last hit on the basilisk is the is time. So. Oh, it's the other two. Time.
Good stuff.
148. Not bad. I was like so scared that I was going way over time there, but thank you everyone. So this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the PS1. So as you can see, Tom Riddle is turning into stink.
Turns into some Nickelodeon slime.
Nickelodeon slime. Yeah, so that's a really fun run. Shout outs to the Harry Potter community. Shout outs to the ASM community, all the boys.
Shout outs to Upjohn, wherever
Shout
he
out
is.
to Upjohn, wherever he is. And yeah, if you want a really comfy PS1 game to run and learn, this one's not bad. Like the wrong warp's super easy to learn. Like I had no trouble learning the game. So yeah, cheers guys. Enjoy the rest of the marathon.